The moment we have been waiting for is here. Today we have a special Nigerian, a patriotic Nigerian who has taken his talent as far as the United Nations Chatham has. Name it. This man cares about Nigeria more than most people. Ogabe, introduce yourself, I beg.
Well, Frank, it's a pleasure to connect with you and to be with your vast audience. I happy say you invited me, and all those accolades where you they talk, I don't know, but I am just one Nigerian who wants to make a difference. I believe that our country can be better, should be better, and will be better than what we are seeing today. Every one of us have a responsibility to change this generation and make it better than we made them. So, with that said, Frank, I am so grateful that you invited me. Thank you so much. My name is Dr. Jake Epele. I am a disability inclusion champion, a political analyst, an expert in governance.
Thank you, Oga Jake. So the first question I want to ask you is say, most people when they look waiting they happen for the Nigerian political terrain believes the election where they want to hold next year, say no, we don't need to even participate. Say the outcome they already arranged waiting go happen next year. What is your view as an expert?
Well, I'm not too surprised. Surprise me say people that think that way because generally when an incumbent they interested in an election, the person that is already there, and by implication, President Bola Tinubu, people always feel that that person have some sort of an advantage because he's open, he has the privilege of money, public funds, he has the privilege of the security operators, and of course he has the privilege of running the biggest political party. And so there's no doubt that people will feel that this election is not, the vote is not going to count. But it's not in all cases. Sometimes events happen and the pendulum will swing. Um, so invariably, governance is dynamic. While the ruling party has the machinery, public sentiment is heavily influenced by the current economic realities. And that brings us to what is happening in the country today. People are struggling, people are suffering. If between now and October, Bola Tinubu does not do something very pragmatic, very dynamic, very impactful, to really rejig the economy and stay to where people can have better life, then he will have a lot of hill to climb in order to get to the top. So to say that it is predetermined is to ignore the unpredictability power of a delusional electorate, if I may say. So the electorate still have some iota of power. If they decide that they will vote somebody out, that person will go. And I have a case study. A case study is Buhari and Jonathan. Jonathan was the incumbent, but unfortunately, the machineries behind Buhari, you know, was able to spew the narrative powerfully, and they were able to get rid of Jonathan, you know, because Jonathan wanted to be a gentleman that he is. Today, everybody have come to realize that it was the greatest mistake we made by sending away Jonathan and brought somebody. When Jonathan was there, they were calling him clueless president. Late Buhari was clueless president, you know. And of course, they ran the economy aground. They say you don't abuse the dead, somebody who died, but I'm not trying to. There were some good things he did, though. I'm not gonna lie. At least he signed the law, the Disability Act, into law in 2018. So, yeah. So yeah. Anybody thinking that they can totally, absolutely predict this election should think again.
So why you think say Obi get organic supporters? You know they give money, but people they see they come Obi. Why?
Mm. Well, Obi, for some reason, uh, built his political patronage on traditional people. Obi has tapped into the concern and the fear of the masses. So you have this reaction to system failure by the people. His followers, largely the youth and the middle class, see him as a symbol of frugal governance. So they think that, hey, Obi is somebody who will not waste public funds. They see Obi as someone who will not cheat the masses. You know, how truth that is something that I'm not too sure. You know, so definitely he has these what looks like a departure from transactional politics, which had defined Nigeria for decades. His appeal is rooted in the hope for a merit-based system. That's my conclusion about Obi's organic, massive followership. But it's not the same. He had a huge opportunity. Um, he has a huge opportunity a few years in 2023. It's not the same. It can never be the same, you know, this time around. Hopefully, uh, we will see what the outcome would look like at the end of the day.
So people are saying that with the current INEC chairman, that next year's election, the chances of having a free and fair election next year is zero. What will be your view for that one, Jake?
I've engaged the INEC chairman. Uh, I've engaged the INEC chairman, and one of the things that I told him was um, to be very, very circumspect the way he goes about it. Frank, is it okay if I just pause for a second and tell my staff to lower the
It's
volume
fine.
of
It's fine. It's fine.
Nimi?
It's fine. It's
Nimi,
fine.
please tell them to lower the volume. I'm recording. How that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, yeah. So, my interaction with him, uh, I, I wish he would take advantage of an opportunity that not too many Nigerians have and do the needful. You know, if he parades himself as truly independent, if he focuses on doing what he's hired to do by not just, well, unfortunately, here is the president that hired, but the president has the privilege of hiring him for the citizenries. But many of them end up serving the purposes of the person who hired them. They said he who pays the piper detects the tune. So I pray he will just sit down and do the needful and serve these citizens. But if he doesn't, the same thing that follows his predecessor will follow him. I was one of those who supported the INEC in 2023, and I'm still supporting INEC. Unfortunately, Mahmoud so disappointed us that many of us became so discouraged. Um, this particular INEC chairman, I can tell you, I've had several meetings with him. Hopefully, he will not do what Mahmoud did. I mean, he's a lawyer, he's very qualified, just like Mahmoud was very qualified, very, very qualified, but he decided to throw all that qualification and experience and education to the gutters. And today he has left with a part in the back as an ambassador. I don't know, but I pray that INEC should do something. But I just described the problem. Let me talk about solution. If this chairman wants to succeed, the first thing he should do is to rebuild the confidence of the electorate. I am telling you, my brother, I'm in the field. The electorates have no iota of confidence in INEC. And that will be the greatest problem. They don't trust um, they don't trust INEC. And so for me, I would suggest making focus and rebuild the confidence of the electorate. Otherwise, one of the things that will ruin his effort is voter apathy. People will not come out to vote. And I'm using your very vast platform to appeal to Nigerians. Because when you don't vote, you have actually voted. If you don't vote, you have voted them. And that's what these crooked politicians are doing. They don't want you to come out and vote. Because the fewer the electorate, the more they rig and the more they control the system. So that will be his greatest problem. Voters' confidence, the electorate confidence, registrant confidence. Once these people fail to participate, there's nothing anybody can do about it. The other thing is, which unfortunately is beginning to play out, whether the political parties have implicit confidence in him. Do they trust him as the umpire? He has to deal with that. If he doesn't have their trust, right now they are calling for his resignation. They will continue to do that, except, which is a very difficult task, to play absolute neutrality. It can be very difficult, but if you choose to serve, then you have to do it. And oftentimes people say, well, you don't know what, I would rather resign. I would rather resign. I would rather resign than to do the bidding of politicians, which will ruin my entire future and the future of my generation. I would rather resign.
But
So
Jake,
that's,
sorry,
go ahead, sir.
from your talking to the INEC chairman, from your one-to-one conversation, one I don't get. What's your assessment of the man? And do you think that the man is somebody that wants to write his name on the platter of gold?
I think inwardly, I think he wants to do the right thing, but his hands are so badly tied that I don't think he'll be able to do it.
Okay. Why do
I
you say
won't be.
that?
Well, if you go by an antecedents of how the presidency controls INEC and INEC chair, and how politicians generally deals with um, the electoral umpire, you can say that I don't think it will be different, you know. But if he chose to do the right thing, he can, you know. But oftentimes, uh, they are afraid of their lives, or I'm sure he will be afraid of his own life and the life of his family, because these politicians can be deadly. You know, do waiting they want, they wipe you out, you know. So, but but if he wants to, if you want to do better for this country and stand for the people will protect him. I can guarantee you that.
So, Jake, after last week meeting where the opposition meet for Ibadan, what do you think is the chances of the opposition getting having a successful outcome, defeating the incumbent if they present one unified candidate and work together?
You know, my greatest disappointment about the political class is their inability to put up a good show of opposition. And I think also um, there's a deliberate attempt by even some of these people you see that are in the forefront saying they are opposition, you know, I think they've been compromised. They've been compromised by the same, most of them have been compromised by the same ruling party. They are just pushed there to infiltrate and create problem in the opposition. You know, our greatest problem is that we don't have opposition. And you know, sometimes people blame APC, the president, you know, and all that. I differ, you know, because even if even if they want to control the entire system, there should be people who will say no and become a very good opposition. Right now, I don't blame APC for the destruction of opposition. I blame those who are pretending and projecting to be opposers. They are not honest, most of them. They are just stooges. Many of them are interested in their stomach infrastructure, like we say it in Nigeria. You know, I don't think they are honest and truly wants to uh, be the faces of opposition. You know, I mean, when you see the likes of Sheyi Makinde, you
Yeah.
know, is that one opposition? It's not. That's Bola Tinubu boy. They are spoilers. You know, they are spoilers. It would take God to convince me that the likes of Sheyi Makinde is a true opposition. You know, it would take God to convince me that most people you know, even some of the big names, that they are true oppositions. They are shadow oppositions. They are APC. They are wearing APC cassock, and wearing the muffler of opposition. You know, they are not.
Okay.
Most of these people that are today taunting themselves as opposition, did you not see them hobnobbing with Bola Tinubu? Didn't you see them?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, so our refusal to put a very formidable opposition is the reason why we are where we are today.
Good. Okay. So my people, anyway, when they watch us from the go we want get and want attract big names when they call the questions when I get from our mind, we want the answer for this platform. We know they come here, come they say His Excellency, said these politicians are public servants. They are our servant. You cannot come to you they interview a politician every time His Excellency. No, 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 no. For abroad, a politician is the role of a journalist is to hold a politician accountable to the people. So if now want support with you, they try to do. We don't need money. Mona they like the video, share so that we can attract more people to make sure say we hold politicians accountable, because now waiting me that they take us for a ride for many years be that. So Jake, the next question where I want to ask you be say civil society now, our people when they watch this video now, what role can they play to make sure their vote count and to mitigate for anybody to ring their vote, the election?
Well, civil society has a lot to do. Let me begin with voter education. Many times we want to force the narrative that INEC needs to do more for voter education. INEC, yes, have a responsibility to increase the campaign, the narrative on voter education, but that's purely civil society role. It is our role to spotlight um, um, voter education and carry out campaign that will sensitize the voters, and not necessarily telling them who to vote, but uh, giving them the information on what is available that will make them participate in the electoral process. Yeah. So for me, in governance, the first role of civil society is voter education and awareness. The second role is to act as a true watchdog. Holding politicians accountable, holding the EMBs accountable, the electoral management bodies, in this case INEC, holding them accountable, not dancing or tilting to the gallery, not taking money in exchange of their views, not buying into the television houses and taking money from politicians and changing the course of editorial direction of top shows and news items. You know, Also, it's the role of the civil society to help ensure that there is very strong internal democracy within the political structure. Because problems with political parties is that today we have individuals in Nigeria who are funding political parties, and to them is business, and so they will decide who gets the primaries, who get, and all that, So at the end of the day, it's give me money, I give you position, It is the place of the civil society to ensure that we monitor the internal party mechanism and internal party democracy and ensure that they are accountable, responsible, and they also have capacities to function. And also to make sure that you protect them from the big political parties. So the small ones also needs to grow, The other thing is to ensure that the system, the political system, is robust enough to carry the expectations of the electorate. So by that I mean how internal workings of INEC, you know, um, budget monitoring, policies, regulations, and the big one is legislation. I am privileged to be part of the those who have been pushing for electoral reforms, and we did. I played a major role in 2022 Electoral Act, uh, Section 54, subsection 1 and 2, and the current Electoral Act, Section 56, subsection 1 and 2, that speaks to inclusivity and political participation. So there's a whole lot that we can do and we should do, and we must do as civil society. Um, Resource mobilization, resource persons, training INEC staff to understand what it takes to run elections, training political party, even candidate. Like in our organization, one of the things we're focusing now, we're going to train persons with disability to um, to context election. So we're moving from allow us to vote to vote for us. So it's no longer, oh, because it's charity to keep begging for persons with disability to vote. I think we've also achieved a lot in that area. Now we are tilting towards making sure that they are voted. So one of our projects is called Able to Lead. Is designed for persons with disability to not only be elected but also to be appointed. We do have a project like Able to Vote. That is political education. We focus on voter education, on Able to Vote, and we have the Tech Hub, which is we introduced something, Frank, that will interest you. Our platform is one of the first and the biggest in the continent. As a matter of fact, the UK High Commissioner came to our office and said to me, came to our booth and said to me that she had never seen, she had never seen anything like this. So we have what we call the eyewitness, um, the Third Eye campaign, which we can actually partner with your platform. What it is that we have a platform that is an open global platform that can sign as much as 5 million citizen observers. So what they do is that with their phone, they send us real-time reports, real-time video, real-time text, real-time reports on how many persons with disability and people in general who are voting. So if one of our roving observers can take their phone and put it on you if you're snatching ballot box, and the whole world will see you. They can take their phone and put it on you if you're buying votes, and the whole world will see you. So we do have that platform, and is on iOS, is on Android. So Frank, that reminds me, we need to use that platform to promote even Nigerians abroad to monitor what is happening in the election. It's real-time voting platform. So as the vote is ongoing, you will see the data. Yeah. So there's a whole lot that civil society can do, my brother, if they are truly civil society and no be evil society.
Okay. So in terms of the Nigerian constitution, people with disability, what do you think needs to happen for them to be able to contribute to the democratic process?
Well, Frank, you don't start because this one now, I don't know when me and you will close this conversation
Let's
because
make that very short. We will invite you again, Jake. We
waiting
will
I discover go shock you, go shock your audience. It's been a sleepless situation for me. I found out that I found out that there is zero mention of disability in Nigerian constitution. Zero mention. So you Google it. You can't find disability in Nigerian constitution. You see, Frank, constitution is not just a legal document. Constitution is the grand norm. Constitution is the oxygen. Constitution is the roadmap of any nation. Any nation. To exclude 35 million people. I'll give you the statistics. It's it's guesstimated, because there's no true data. It's guesstimated that there are 230 million Nigerians. Okay? It's guesstimated there is 35 million persons with disability in Nigeria. If you net off 35 million from 230, you have 195 million, right? I know past my mathematics for afternoon. So you have 195 million. Okay, again, make a try mathematics. That's 15.22%. That's a population of 2-3 African countries put together. I have a friend in Bahamas. The population of Bahamas, that their economy is doing so well, their population is 400,000 people. So you can imagine 35 million people excluded from a document that should be their life wire. You know, I was on one of the channels, and a very well-respected lawyer who is a journalist, you know, I don't want to mention his name, asked me, say, oh no, Section 42 covers everybody. And I said, well, I'm not a lawyer, but I also try to read small. There are 3 segments of people mentioned in that Section 42. They said it speaks to discrimination. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So it says religion, ethnicity, and sex. And I hear what they want to bring in now is circumstances of birth. And they thought that, because you see, you don't describe a people by description. You don't use description to describe people and say that's inclusion. What will it cost the lawmakers if they mention disability? Nothing. So invariably, the truth that they are not telling us, we have Discrimination Prohibition Act, which is the Disability Law 2018. Okay. With what we are discovering in the Constitution, that is absence of inclusion, that piece of act, any smart lawyer can use technical grounds to say that it's not enforceable.
Jake, on this very matter, it also I will bring you back again. Maybe we can't talk specifically on this matter, but I won't end this podcast by
I
asking
go
you.
send you my analysis of the current constitution and the current effort that they are doing to review the constitution. Not any of them have disability.
I go give you my email. The question I want to ask you more roundup is say, from your meeting with the INEC chairman, do you think say he understand? Say, look, the stake this time around, and do you think say person way the main participant in the democratic process, the opposition party say they have passed a vote of no confidence on you, and there's still question about whether the man actually belongs to APC, given that there's been reports on social media of him having a Twitter account where he actually purportedly supported the current president. You think say this kind of man, we don't start now with doubt, can conduct a free and credible election that will be accepted to Nigerians?
Well, I don't know. You've asked me before, and I can tell you that if I get into the heart of Professor Joash, I think he wants to do the right thing. I think so. You know, whether what he wants to do will be credible is what I don't know.
Okay.
Whether it will be acceptable is what I don't know. Under pressure, will he cave in? Most likely. It's also most likely that he won't. So it's comme ci, comme ça. You know, I wouldn't take his job. I wouldn't want to be in his position, even though somebody has to be there to get things done. But if I am, I will do the right thing and damn the consequences.
Good. And on that note, we're going to end this podcast. Jake is going to appear again where we'll talk about other issues. Jake, it's been a pleasure having you here today. Thank you so much for spending your time to come and speak to us. Guys, if you see any value in this content, make una nakam, like them. Let me know if there's anybody who say you think they need to come to this platform where we try and bring them come. Jake, God bless you and thank you very much for coming to speak to us
All right,
today.
brother. Thank you.